Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Daniel Dennis.
Kenny
27 year. I am Daniel Dennis, 27-year broadcasting veteran of Orlando's airwaves.
I thought you were trying to do the Ed Till, like Daniel Dennis.
Dan Kathy Taylor's in the newsroom. Very intelligent for a black woman.
Was that? He said that?
He said it one time. One time he said that, and we were like, "Whoa!" Like, don't say that.
But it was the end of the '90s, so it was fine.
I don't think he meant to say it.
When I was producing a show, we were in the same room, kind of like how we are now, and I sneezed, even though my mic was off, and I sneezed in the middle of his rant. He was like, "I'm sorry. Is this my show or is this the
Ed
Kenny
did?
show?" Yeah.
You worked with Ed?
Yeah. He started yelling at me because I sneezed.
When did you work with Ed?
When he came back to Orlando to do like mom and pop stuff,
and he
like,
was
an AM
working
station.
at the Wolf. No.
No, it was the one that Shannon Burke worked at for a bit when they had the billboard of him and the guns.
Yeah, and it said, "Would it kill ya?" And it had the microphone smoking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's tasty.
Ed Till was his lead-in, and I was his producer.
His lead-in.
Okay, what year was that?
It was like 2010 or something like
all
that.
Yeah,
right,
it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't,
I did it for like
That's a
1
long
month,
time.
and I'm like,
And he
this
yelled
is
at you?
awful. Yeah, he yelled at me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then once the mics were off, nicest guy in the world. But
Yeah.
when the mics were on, absolute D-head.
Well, that's his
That's a shtick.
Yeah. That's everybody's got some sort, especially the old radio guys.
Yeah. Some would say yours is bumbling idiot. You know.
Well,
I don't know what's
I don't know
mine.
how much of a shtick it
Angry,
is.
scared guy.
It doesn't bleed over into the DMV. Like, what is that? Anyway, I'll tell that story on Friday's Free Show.
No.
Anyway,
We'll see you at the Friday Free Show.
so Kenny, how you been?
I've been doing well. I actually got an email scam myself, like similar to what you got that you guys were talking about with Sam a while ago.
Okay.
And it was phrased very weird, and I saved it. Now I won't say exactly what it is, but basically they're trying to blackmail me. They said that they caught me on a webcam.
Oh.
Yeah,
doing
but this is believable
explicit-
for you because we got your voice message.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
even
yeah.
last week we were talking about a woman ripping your like leather bikini off, and you didn't have anything to cover you, and then I had to edit you because you're cursed on our airwaves, and we know you're sexual deviant.
Well, it said, okay, if your relatives spotted you doing your exciting deeds, what reaction would they have? You are doing incredibly hideous deeds instead of pursuing self-improvement.
I thought it was exciting.
Yeah, no, but like,
Hideous deed?
Yeah.
Hideous deed.
Oh, that's the name of the beer.
But you know what? I feel that's a great name, dude. That is a damn good name
Hideous
for a
Deeds?
beard. Hideous deeds. I do feel like anybody listening to this right now, if you're listening to my voice right now, picture yourself doing that one thing. Hideous deed. It's hideous.
well,
I don't want anybody seeing
I don't
that.
want anybody. I have caught myself. You ever caught yourself?
What do you mean?
Like, you just
In the
doing something,
reflection?
and then you see the reflection, and you're like, well, that's over.
No.
It's hideous. It's a hideous deed.
Well, here's where it takes a turn. Your vile hobbies, which I saw via your web
Hold on,
camera.
that's another great beer name. Vile Hobbies?
When you jay off, have
Whoa,
really,
whoa,
well,
whoa,
I'm
whoa.
not going to say the whole thing.
Whoa, that's rough.
Okay, well, when you say, have
Jay
really,
and off sounds horrible.
but she goes, when you do that, have really impressed me. I'm like,
You have impressed
Took a
me with
turn.
your hideous deed. Very impressed. All right.
and I'm like, wait, so are you threatening me? Or are
rock
you...
and roll, hideous deed.
And then I'm thinking, wait, are you telling me to pursue a new career? Like,
I think you are a hideous deed man. Very
anyway,
nice.
they wanted me to send like $1,200 in crypto to a specific address.
Why always crypto too hard? If you had asked me to send money, I could send money, but I don't even know how to do the crypto
I
thing.
go to Western Union.
Yeah.
And
I could send
wire you some money.
I could send you a limited edition Eminem NFT.
You know
That's
that
all I have.
Western
I have an
Union.
Eminem Stan NFT.
You know, Western Union has a website. You don't have to physically go somewhere to do it,
see, I
right?
didn't
well,
know
why
that.
they have the desk?
I didn't know that.
Well,
what do
that's-
I print out my own?
That's if you pay in cash. No, all you need, like when you do it via a website, because I have family overseas, and that's how I send them money sometimes. And
Where's your family overseas?
Thailand.
Oh, very cool.
Indeed. Yeah. And then,
Where
but
all
yeah,
the perverts are.
yeah, of course.
How much money do you send them?
No, they're just family. So it's just like if they live over there, it's, like $100 gets them like a 1 month of living over there.
Well, that's a
Oh
lot.
my God. Send them 1,000 then. You're loaded. I mean, hook them up, man.
Yeah, $100
Yeah,
bucks.
these people need food, these
But
perverts.
all you do is. All you do is when you get it, you basically just get a claim number. You just give them the claim number, and it's attached to their name.
You ever seen a razor blade show?
Because
Because he mentioned Thailand. Tell me one other
They
thing you
don't
think
have
of.
that.
There's only two things people think of. When you say Thailand, people go food, razor blade show.
Well, and transvestites.
Yeah.
The girly boys.
Yeah. They're called
Lady
boys.
boys.
Lady boys.
I
Right,
wasn't
girly
gonna say
boys.
that because
Yeah.
you can't say that
I don't think
anymore,
you're supposed to
Kenny.
say that.
That's why I said girly boys.
That's another good beer name. Girly boys.
Oh, yeah. Write that down. So what else, Kenny? I know.
Yeah, so I last time I was here, I talked about me being on a Starbucks commercial, and
Oh no, we didn't get to
we didn't-
like really dig
Yeah.
into it. Yeah.
So they're promoting their new summer line of drinks, and
yeah, because everybody wants a flaming hot drink of the summer.
It's probably iced coffee.
yeah, it's
right?
like it's their fruity
Coolers,
like coolers,
coolers and freshers. Ooh,
So-
I want a coconut fresher.
They did a shoot out at Wekiva Springs, and I wasn't what they called the feature actor, but I was a reactionary extra, which
You
means
look too Middle Eastern. That's what that.
which mean well, it was
That's what
very,
happened, right?
It was multicultural. It was
yeah, you
it
got to
was-
have everybody represented, man.
Yep. So I was a part of like this party, and they're at
What
like
are
a
you?
lakeside, and
You're like Muslim Asian, right?
I mean, I'm half Asian, half like Minnesota white.
You do kind of. I could. Yeah, this is. You're a man. You are a unicorn at these shoots.
I'm telling
Because you got a little bit of everything. Plus, you're a tall drink of water.
Mm-hmm.
I would want you on my set.
So I'm my whole role is the whole thing is people are hanging out at a party and they're missing someone because someone shows up with 4 drinks and then they're like, hey, where's this 4th person?
He's been murdered.
He's on the he's on the other side of the lake, and it's like, oh, he wants it so bad. He jumps in full clothes, and then
I need that
yeah.
fresher.
So I'm part of the party that's there, but I'm already splashing around in the water. Well, they gave me this
Pervert, I
this
knew it.
pool float. Well, so it's in Wekiva Springs, by the way.
Perverts get the pool first.
And,
they hide their boaters.
The call time was like 6 a.m., so they wanted us to jump in the water at like around 7 a.m., and this was about a month or so ago, and it was freezing, and we were like, and then basically
I'm not gonna have a venti.
we have
It's also spring water too, which makes it extra cold.
yeah, and you're there for like 2-3 hours at a time, so I may or may not have peed in the water, like just because you can't get out, like they're just doing
Pervert.
shit.
I knew it. I knew it. I called it.
Well,
Called it.
they gave me a pool float. Initially, I was laying in it like a normal pool float, and the director's like, "Hey, you look like a floating corpse. It doesn't look good in the background. So can you
You
just maybe
idiot! Get out of the pool float.
yeah? So can you
Can
just maybe
somebody
like
get the pervert out of the pool float, please?
So they gave me. It's one of those like just long inflatable ones, and so they had me drape myself over it. And
That's
it
how
looks,
I do it.
It looks like I don't know how to use a pool float. Like, and they want me to like
Oh.
splash around in the water and react to what's going on. And
Playing the part of Asian R word.
yeah,
is-
it looks like I'm drowning in the background.
Oh.
Like I'm just like flailing my arms.
So how long is the shoot, and what do you get paid for this?
So you're there at 6 a.m. for a call time. Then they
Okay.
they fit you with outfits, which is weird because you're supposed to bring your own, and if they don't like what you have, they'll give you some. And I brought, guys, how I dress. I'm like, oh, I have like wacky whatever, too crazy for them. So they gave me like muted down Target clothes, but it didn't matter because they put me in the water, so you couldn't see any of it. So I could have
Okay.
just worn my own stuff.
So you got
Yeah.
like a muted bathing suit.
Yeah,
like
they-
a gray bathing suit.
Yeah, and like a tan tank top and
Can
stuff
I-
like that.
These
I'm
people
gonna,
are not fun at all.
I'm gonna bitch about something for a second because every
Isn't
single
that our show?
every production I've ever been involved in, including
This one?
even no, not this one. This one's bare bones. In fact, we could put a little more effort and buy a little more stuff for this.
Not me. I'm exhausted.
But I'm saying there's such a tremendous amount of waste of money and time.
Oh my God, yeah.
With when you're recording a TV show, a commercial, any sort of big production, they're like they dress all the extras and they're all underwater. No
Yep.
one sees but someone
Gotta do
sent
it.
a runner to Target to get every size of bathing suit.
Yep.
So so now they have every size male bathing suit for any possible extra
Yeah.
that no one can even see
And
anyway.
in case something happens,
Yeah.
you have multiples. You have 2, 3,
Yeah.
4
Oh,
different.
yeah.
And then you spend all day shooting and all these different angles or whatever. They use 30 seconds of footage, and then they pay people that are not even in the damn shot. Like so much waste. And
Yeah,
then
like if you're not seen, I wouldn't pay you.
So basically, we were at Wekiva Springs, and it's open to the public. So what they had to do was almost like section it off and do unique angles. So the people that were paid to be there are in the shot. Anyone in the background had to just sign a release and not get paid. So it ended up being where they
A
got
lot of
a lot
jean
of extras.
shorts, right?
Well, and a lot of like, oh, why they're doing a commercial, and they're all like pulling out their phones. And
I like Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'.
yeah. Well, so to answer your question, initially you're there from 6 a.m. until about like 2 p.m. So it's a normal 8-hour day.
Not bad.
And the initial pay was $300, but if you were in the water, you got an extra $100 because it's technically hazard pay because you could conceivably drown. There was a guy like a frogman, full like camouflage head to toe as a lifeguard, like off in the distance, but he had to blend in.
That's waste.
Just in case someone did drown.
Yeah, that's waste. What's that guy getting? $5,000 to sit there in the frogman suit?
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, I'm sure you have to go through the lifeguard union too, or whatever. You know, like it's all that. It's like every actor, every person, like every grip has to go through the union. And they're like, oh, it's a grip's break time, 15 minutes, and everybody sits around.
You know, there is a
what a waste.
There's a sweet job that I've recently kind of heard about, and I'd like to see if we can find somebody that does it. I think there's a specific type of EMT where if you get to a level or work for a certain company, that you only do like
events,
like acting stuff. Like you only do like
shoots.
Yeah, like shoots and events and celebrities.
Because they have to have for insurance purposes, they gotta have an EMT on, you know, so you just go.
And you do nothing. You literally do nothing.
Dude, at the Guardians game, they have to have paramedics on for the game, whatever. And the guy's just sitting, remember I got my suntan lotion or whatever? The guy's just sitting in the office. He doesn't do anything. Like no one's getting hurt,
saving anybody,
and that's separate from the actual like ambulance and paramedics that I have on field in case a football player.
Right.
Like this is just for the like spectators, and no one like besides from maybe an old granny getting heat stroke or falling out, or say someone fainting or getting too drunk. Like the person's doing nothing.
Were
like,
you shirtless?
Yeah. I had to do the whole thing where I'm in the water, just like because it's got to be as natural as possible.
Gotcha.
So I'm in the water, splashing around, reacting to everything that's happening,
and the crazy part is like this may never see the light of day.
Well, so it's interesting because they did obviously the commercial, but then they have to do different shoots and different angles for social media now. So when they were doing it, they did the normal full commercial, then they had to do like different cutaways and different everything. So we had to simulate being in the water at different areas so they can get certain close-up shots for social media, for like, YouTube ads and stuff like that.
See, the marketing of that, it fascinates me to how the giant corporations quantify this marketing and if they even attempt to do it. Like
I always thought that
with
they
TV
didn't.
commercials.
It is interesting to me that you said they got specific angles for social, because I would imagine they would just take the professional version and then edit it and just put it out on TikTok or Snapchat or whatever you want to do. But that probably doesn't work as well. You probably have to shoot it specifically so you get... it's kind of like us. If we take our, we get complaints from some people that say, well, you guys take your normal show and you just cut it up and put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we need it smaller than that. We need it more digestible. And I'm like, well, we're just not that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not us.
Because when especially the dude, the main actor that jumped in the water jumped hundreds of times, and I kind of almost felt bad for him because he had to keep getting out, drying off, jumping back in, getting out, drying off, jumping back in, and then they got shots from far away, they got shots from close, they got one of those underwater cameras that was getting like jumping over shots and stuff like that.
Yep, it's too much. They don't even need all this. You don't need to have the guy jump in 24 times. Just do it one time. You got it. And I think they do it on purpose to justify how expensive it all is.
I wonder if it has to do with the product. I wonder if these, quote, let's say they're called refreshers. Let's say that this Starbucks refresher is amazing. Maybe they shoot it one time. Or maybe if they're okay, we got to shoot it 900 times because it's just not that good.
It's the budget that Starbucks has and the production company that
probably
hired.
never changes.
Yeah. So not only was the production company there, but representatives from Starbucks were there having to oversee and monitor every shot and everything.
Yeah.
And these are just ad people, so they don't really care. So it was interesting just kind of observing the director talking about, hey, what the shot is. And the Starbucks people are like, okay. Like, they didn't really care. They're just like, yeah, we trust you that it will look good. Like, you don't need to explain to us how, this angle is going to have this in the sunlight and then this, reactionary shot.
Yeah, because they're on location just because that's what they've always done is send someone from Starbucks, but they know they're not going to, because they're not a director. They're not in production, so they don't know. We're just here to make sure. I don't even know why we're here. Like, is the corporate waste of it all that drives me crazy.
Yeah.
It's like all this could have been done by Daniel for $500.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like
true.
by himself.
Yeah.
Maybe if nowadays it'd probably be paid like $2,500 to do this, but you could film the same commercial for $2,500
You
bucks
could, and get damn close.
Yeah.
Daniel
Get
could
damn
edit
close.
it, and then you can get some friends to do it, and
Yep.
it'll be 80%
Pretty
of
darn
what
good.
this
Yep.
costs, and this
Oh,
probably
guaranteed.
costs what?
Tens of thousands, if not hundreds, because I guarantee, yeah, you're right. $5,000, we could probably pull it off. They probably spent $100K, and that was just for the day of. That
They had
doesn't include
catering and everything.
Yeah, full catering,
Yeah.
and that doesn't include flying in the executives. That doesn't include flying in the whatever. Now the talent,
lifeguard, they probably had to rent
Yep.
out Wakaiva, and Wakaiva.
well, they tried. It's a public area, and the cost to do that was too much for them, so they had it open to the public. But that's why we also started at 7 a.m. because we were trying to get as many shots and stuff in there before they opened it to the public.
Very cool.
But
man.
just to film in public, you have to get some permit. I'm
Yep.
sure. Yeah. So,
And they had releases galore. So, like I said, anyone even remotely in the background. So they did that shot, and then they ended it. And you know how they do the commercials where after the main event, they'll end up like doing a cutaway, and it's like, oh, they're at a picnic table now, all enjoying it. And it's like they, completely different scene. So they had us all do a fake barbecue scene, and they did the thing where they grilled food, but they only charred the outside to make it look like it. So the actors had to do the thing where they bite into basically a raw hamburger that's just charred on the outside, immediately spit it out, give them a whole new charred hamburger, do it again. And
Well,
just,
you might as well cook the burger at that point. I mean, if it's just char the outside, keep the inside raw. Why?
It took too long.
Why not?
Took too long to do it because you want that even what's weird is it's a Starbucks commercial, but they wanted that thick, plump burger. But I'm thinking if you were to actually cook it properly, it would shrink it down. It wouldn't look as good and look as fun.
You know how to
in
fix
that
that? You
environment.
put an ice cube on top of it. Keeps your meat moist.
Nice.
yeah, but they're just biting a burger, spitting it into a bucket.
Yeah.
So
They
like
should video
you're
that.
wasting it
They
all.
should show the real commercial. Should be them biting raw meat and spitting into a bucket. Horrible.
Starbucks.
We love these refreshers.
Get this taste out of your mouth. Starbucks refreshers.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It's just all such a waste of money to
It's
me.
all fake.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just all fake.
Well,
just make your drink good and
and
say,
then-
hey, we got these drinks.
Well,
Try them.
and what's crazy is even though they gave me the outfit to wear, they still gave me like $100 stipend for bringing my own outfit. So I basically
Nice.
got paid $500 just to swim around and pee in water for all day.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You know-
Look at a frog man.
I don't know what made me think of this, but with just how the whole system is set up, and like this is the way it's done. Like I always laugh. And,
Not to
like,
Mr. Beast. He changed the game.
You're right. I get mad about now, but now with YouTube, the way it's done is the way Mr. Beast did it, and that's
Yeah.
what other people are gonna mimic forever.
Well,
you know,
people are learning that the way it is done is just the way it's done. It can be that, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if you want to do it a different way,
Well, I
and
mean,
you can become rich
You
doing
even
it.
start like Applebee's, that country song that came out about it. Applebee's just made a commercial where they just took 30 seconds of TikTok clips and just edited it together and goes, "Hey, this is our commercial." So
I have seen
that's
that.
all you had
Yeah.
to do was just go out to them and be like, "Hey, you want to be in an Applebee's commercial? We just want to use your video." Probably paid them nothing.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
just
just
say, "Can we use
edited,
this?"
edited
Yeah.
people dancing to that dumb song.
Now, the reason a lot of companies don't do that, and I think I was talking to Bill Bellamy about this when he was
Yeah,
and
right.
I
Like you
wasn't-
know Bill Bellamy.
because we were talking about Lamar Jackson,
Yeah.
and he is privy to Hollywood and the entertainment industry, and so he knows more than anybody,
Little different
or
angle.
at least more than us. Like if you start messing or bucking the system, like a lot of people get mad and start to get nervous. And what he was talking about Lamar, he's like, if they let Lamar do this deal without an agent, then you're bucking the system that's full of agents that make millions
it
of dollars.
all comes down.
And then it's like, wait a minute, he could do this without an agent. So he's like, some of the pushback maybe, of course, they could do it without an agent.
Please don't change the game.
But if you
Right,
change
right.
the way it's done, a lot of people are mad about it. And then it's like, wait a minute, like, well, I don't have to pay this guy 1% or whatever, or 2%, or like it, maybe it doesn't have to be done the way it's always been done. And there's a lot of resistance against changing the way things are done.
I agree with
So
that.
you start doing cheapo commercials, and they have just the same success. That's a lot of money in production and actors and like the lifeguards that get these gigs, and I'm sure the security
God.
guard,
Tons.
the local cop that you have to hire to
It's
be on scene.
1,000 people, right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
and it's a little weird thing too, where like let's say you're right, you can do it on the cheap and do whatever, but the moment you try to do it legit, you almost have to spend that money because you don't want a scenario like Michael Jackson getting his hair caught on fire. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have the security. You have to have the lifeguard. You have to have it because, God forbid, Starbucks goes in the news because they didn't have a lifeguard. Someone drowns in one of their commercials.
Oh,
and now they're
yeah.
screwed by millions of dollars when they could have spent $1,000 to just had of someone there.
You would think, though, that there, because if I was the big Starbuck, Mr. Buck, and I would say,
Starbuck.
hey, instead of because you know
First name is Starles.
You know,
like Charles.
like
Starles Bucks.
I don't know. I know Netflix has their own production companies now that film their own documentaries, but before, I believe, a lot of times a production company would film a documentary and just sell it to Netflix.
Yeah, they shop it out.
Right, and then or to
and they
whoever.
get people to bid on it.
And then so into Netflix, it's way easier just to pay someone who already did the documentary or show or whatever, and I'm just going to pay you instead of having their own production company and of employees and going out there and filming the stuff. It's easier just to pay. So I would think just like, hey, I'll just pay someone to after they film the Starbucks commercial. And the best one, I'll just pay the. You know what I'm saying? Like, because then it's way cheaper than you going out and doing it yourself. I guess they already do that. Like, Starbucks is just hiring a marketing agency.
They probably do both.
Paying a company.
Most do both. Most do a little something internal, and then they also go with bigger agencies to get stuff recorded and done.
Because then it wouldn't be on them. Although the news would be someone dies at a Starbucks commercial, and that's what they don't want. It doesn't even matter if they're liable. Even if the production company's liable, it's just you don't want your name in the headlines.
Get that name out of there, right?
Yeah. Because at a certain point, when you're $1 billion corporation, you're like, just pay the money.
Pay the extra couple thousand so we don't have to accidentally lose millions. Yeah. One of the things, too, they were about, I'd say 10 extras total. Fortunately, I got paid extra because I was featured. And the other ones, though, they were those stereotypical wanting to be an actor. They know that this was like a stepping stone. They're going to try to do other commercials.
Were they all like good looking?
I mean, they literally wanted the gamut. You had
had a look. Did they all have a look?
They all had the I'm trying too hard to try to impress a producer because they have that idea of if they like. You know, we're just sitting around, it's during a break, but they're like intentionally posing so that way they want to, a producer to walk by and be like, I want you to be in my next commercial.
God, where have you been, my muse?
There are way too many of those, and there are a lot of people like with that type A personality that are trying to like suck up and impress people. And it's weird because like, there's one thing to just chit chat and get to know people, and that's how you network. But there are others that were just like trying to suck up so bad to like the second assistant grip that's just getting water is just because they're like, if I suck up to this person, then they might tell their boss about me.
Well, they would work. Like if I were working that and like walking around and I'm a grip and some girl's like, hey, I'm like, what do you need? Let's make a deal.
I'll give you anything for.
I'll make you a star. You want to be a star?
Yeah. I know how it works.
Star.
The overly trying to make something happen for yourself
get discovered. Trying to get discovered.
But I'm pretty sure that
isn't it what everybody we were talking about this earlier. Isn't that what everybody's doing? Well, not everybody. Isn't it what a high percentage of people on social media are doing?
Yes,
overly trying hard to try to get discovered, so somebody sees their one video of them doing some skit, and they're the next.
The thing is,
Daddy Long Neck.
That's the way it works, though.
That's the way it works,
and so many other times because, like, think about all the people we say it all the time. Like the people. Okay, Kenny. How did Kenny get on our show? Right?
I have no idea.
Me neither. How did you get on here? I have no idea.
I was part
Who are you?
Who are you? We don't know. How did you get here?
Which, by the way, I just saw your AT Aliens hat, which I love. That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. You can thank Big Boy for that, right?
Yeah.
That's the best.
BIGBOY.
Yeah. Thank you, Big Boy, for this AT Aliens hat.
But I was part of the Tom just said, hey, email me if you want a segment. So like I was in the group with Canadian Josh, Chris Strema, Business Baby.
God,
they've all fallen to the wayside.
Yeah, I think
Business Baby dead. Chris Strema still alive but doesn't want to work with us anymore. Neither does Business Baby. Still alive, doesn't want to work with us anymore.
Although Chris Strema, I'm pretty sure
Cadillac Pat off the deep end.
The last time we heard from her, she was like celebrating her birthday with her husband, and they were just like,
they're sober now. They've gotten healthy.
Exactly.
A lot of our
Canadian Josh still around.
Yeah. So it's really it's just
a lot
me
of the people
Canadian
that
Josh.
listen. Okay, here's what happens.
Oh yeah, Trivia
Drew's
show, no longer here.
Yeah, you come to the show, and if you are a good person, you outgrow the show. If you are a stagnant, what was the phrase they used earlier?
Oh,
heinous addiction.
yeah.
Yeah. If you have if you have a heinous genitals, what was it? They said you had heinous genitals.
It was a heinous act.
Yeah. If you commit heinous acts, you you stay with the show until you die. But
it was hideous deeds.
Hideous deeds. Okay, so Trivia Drew grew up, left the show. Cadillac Pat off the deep end. Who else do we have?
He's still around.
Chris Strema grew up, left the show.
Yep.
A lot of these people
Business
graduate.
Baby.
Business Baby grew up, left the show.
But my point being is that you tried,
Yeah.
even though you probably thought when you were sending the email, like, well, this is not going to work.
This is as dumb as my podcast moves.
Yeah.
My move.
And
Not that I didn't think it would work, because I think it's like, oh, they'll have me on one time and that's it. And then you guys kept wanting to hear my insane stories.
Did you know that we would all become best friends?
Aw.
But,
Did you know that? Did you know that we would
did
all
not.
become best friends?
Well, to your point, though,
Tom doesn't like the term best friends because he thinks it's for children.
Yeah, that is true.
So I love saying, I'll sneak it in every once in a while, then you could just see him go,
So
he'll
to
shake his
any-
head like, no, I'm not your friend.
Word of advice to any aspiring actors or actresses: if you're going to do extra stuff like that, producers aren't going to swing by and then suddenly be inspired by you. The decisions of who they want on camera have been made weeks ago. So they know exactly what they're looking for, who they're looking for, the type, the build, the age, the hair color. They already have that in mind. So nothing you do on set is going to impress them.
Now,
Not even one?
you say that, though, and I heard Matt Damon on TikTok talk about that
You and your TikTok.
he started looking at auditions differently once he was in charge of casting a movie or whatever. I think
One
it
of
was-
these days,
yeah, I think it was Good Will Hunting.
one of these days, my movie's going to win Project
Well,
Greenlight.
because he said that he's like, when I was in charge of deciding who, like, I wanted every actor that came in and auditioned for it to hit it out of the park. Like, I wanted them to do good. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, we have an idea of who we want, but also the person wants you to do well. So then he's like, you're it. And then he doesn't have to work anymore, because then it's like,
Right.
so like you going into it, like, yeah, they may have an idea of who they want, but they also want you to do well.
Oh, no, of course.
Yeah.
But see, that's also in the casting process. I'm talking about when you're actually on site and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
starting to do
He's saying when you're stretching and you're like,
trying to show off. And I'm like,
me,
you're-
me, mama, me, mo.
yeah. And yeah, it's all
You're
about
doing warm-ups. You're like,
yeah.
you're going
Yeah,
above
trying
and
too
beyond.
hard,
You
yeah.
kiss ass.
Why does everybody like dislike the try hard person? Because all they're
hate
doing is trying
try-hard
hard. like, why do you
Stop trying so hard. You're making us look bad.
Is it because we're all lazy
Yeah.
and we don't want anybody?
Well, we want it to be
like,
natural.
we don't want to try hard.
Well,
because
I
it's
think-
hard.
Well, okay, when we don't want to be the try hard unless we see the try hard and we're like, I should have been the try hard, and then we're mad at the try hard.
Now, I think it's
Okay.
also a little bit of, oh, they're a tryhard. They think they're better than me.
Okay,
Especially,
Well,
especially if.
But what if they are better than you?
Well,
they're trying harder
than you. So they are a little bit better.
Yeah. They're at least trying harder than you
Yeah.
are. That's why you're mad that they're trying hard.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's on you. Like, you shouldn't
You're
be mad at
you're mad
anybody.
at yourself because
Yeah, yeah.
you're not trying hard
Yeah,
enough,
yeah.
right? And that's why you're projecting a little bit of it.
yeah, that's
But-
true.
Because you are a little mad at yourself. I'm sure there
Yeah.
were people there that were mad. They'd look at you.
Probably.
They weren't mad at you, but they were mad that they weren't the guy on the float.
I'm telling you right now, though. See, that's the thing. I think the tryhards, you're looking at them and you're like, you're wasting your effort. I don't even have to do half of the work you're doing, and I'm gonna get featured. I'm gonna get that extra $100
Damn,
for
that's
being
okay.
my-
arrogant. Wow. I like arrogant Kenny.
Well,
That's my favorite Kenny's confident Kenny.
Confident Kenny is who leaves the voicemails, crapping on EJ's misinformation.
Yeah, I like that. I like confident Kenny.
And there's something that's inherently not cool with trying super hard. Like, the cool person
Yeah.
doesn't try at all. That's the
Right,
stereotype,
right,
right? The
right.
cool person just
They just do.
They
That's
just
true.
try.
Yeah, it's basically like Michael Jordan doesn't have to show that he can dunk from the foul line. He
Right.
just does it.
But Michael Jordan has been practicing 13 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
but he
a
doesn't.
day.
But he's not doing that in public. Like, he's working his butt off behind the scenes,
yeah.
But-
so he can show up and just have
But he
that
doesn't
air.
need to try. He just does.
Well, that's what it seems like when he's playing because he's so good.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because he practiced so much.
Well,
It's
do you
like
think
Tiger Woods.
the tryhards, we can sniff out that you're not as confident?
Probably.
Maybe it's the confidence. People are attracted to.
Little
the
did they
confidence
know,
of it.
I was floating around on that pool float for days before this shoot just to perfect it.
Yeah, you got it down. Peeing yourself in a
Yeah.
pool.
I'm like, how
constantly.
can I pee away from the group so they don't feel that it suddenly got warm in this really cold water?
Because
You just got to drink extra cold water.
there was like the
Stupid.
well,
Don't laugh at that.
the day this airs, the NFL draft was yesterday, but there were like
Oh, did you believe who the Dolphins picked?
story. The Dolphins don't have a first round pick. Take any. You knew that.
Take that, Tom.
They took it away from us because a stupid owner was flapping his gums too much about losing. Everybody does it. Oh, they took away our first round pick. Everybody does it. Stupid coach. I forgot his name.
Brian
God.
Flores.
Brian.
Flores. Oh, God. How did he get
You got it.
How did they give him a job after?
Threw him off his game.
Oh, they did give him a job, too.
I know. You think be like, this guy's a snitch.
Well, they kind of had to. It looked bad. The other things look bad. Yeah,
Well,
other things
the owners will be like, well, I'm not talking to this guy anyway.
yeah, but then they're like, but we said some things. We should talk to this guy. We're sorry. Right? We said some things about this guy. Uh-oh.
There were stories about a particular player that was like a sought-after player. I forgot his name, but he came into the combine or whatever, like overweight, and it looked like he wasn't trying that hard during his drills, and so they were criticizing him. And I even saw in like the video.
I remember this. Yeah.
It really didn't look like he was putting 100% effort into it. And when I see that, I'm like, what have you? Isn't this all you've worked for all your life, like since high school football?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. You have a problem with the unexplainable, right? Like when you see something and you're like, well, you shouldn't be doing that. Why would you
just
waste
your bad attitude?
You're
like,
wasting this moment.
to yourself.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of, and I have heard that there are some players, if they knew they were going to be a top 5 pick, let's say, they don't want to play for the team that's at 1 or 2, so they'll intentionally tank their interviews with them to dissuade them from picking them because they'd rather be on this team or the other team.
I've heard of that, but that's a dangerous game.
I wouldn't do that. I think that's
You're
dumb.
gonna
That
make
is
it
really dumb because you're also fabricating, making yourself a pain in the ass.
Well,
Yes.
not just that.
Why
but-
would you ever want, good or bad?
Yeah,
good
teams
or,
talk
like,
to
I
each
mean,
other,
like
too.
fabricated or not
Yeah.
fabricated. Why would you ever want people thinking you're hard to work with? Ever?
Me and Daniel have brought this up before, where like the last year we were on the radio, right? Like we had an idea we're not going to be on there anymore, but it did us no like service at all to go in there and just tank the day.
I did my job as good as I ever did it.
Yeah.
Maybe even better because I needed to do it.
Also,
Yeah.
the listener, like if you're just like you're not trying anymore, then people are like will be like, well, this guy's not very funny. He's not good.
Well,
and then it's
Whether-
like, why would
whether
you
I-
do that to yourself?
Whether I like the show I was on or not, this is the way Tom and I looked at it. Whether we like that show anymore, whatever, that wasn't the listener's fault. They weren't behind the
that's
scenes.
true.
They didn't create that mess.
They got their own problems.
They
But I
got their
guess-
own problems, and they just wanted us to be funny. So we agreed very early on, even knowing that we weren't going to do this job anymore. We agreed, but we're still going to do a 100% perfect job. Well, not perfect, but good job, because it does it's my reputation at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
only hurts you.
Yeah, it only hurts you.
It goes back to the Starbucks thing. They don't care that it's the production company that killed the person. It's the
yeah,
name.
Right.
So
You're right.
the only thing that I can understand, you're right. You don't want to ever tank yourself and everything like that. But with how the rookie salary deals are done based on where you're picked, it's not that big of a drop off between pick number 6 and pick number 7. So they're okay intentionally dropping down a little bit because, you're going to make that salary no matter what. And if you bust your butt because you're a good player, then your second contract's going to be big. And you don't have to get stuck on a Cleveland Browns kind of team.
That's true. That seems dangerous to me. Like it seems like the only way that you should play it is to try 100% effort no matter what you do at all times. I guess there's a little there is some chess involved if like, hey, I'm gonna go later in the draft for this particular reason. But I've seen it before with other people where for whatever reason they do themselves a disservice by either like personally tanking whatever they're doing or not, like
Self-sabotage
Yeah,
at some point,
self-sabotage.
yeah.
What is that? That is a weird psychology, is the self-sabotage.
I mean, I understand giving up. I mean, I get.
Yeah.
I love giving up.
I understand getting to a point where you're just like, I can't do this anymore or whatever. But
Yeah.
if you see a future and you know what you're going to do, you still want to play it the best way you can, so when you get on the other side of it, you are intact. Your reputation is intact. People still have a good feeling about you. They still want to work with you. You know, like you don't want to ever do anything that people would look back on you later. I mean, that's why taking the interviews and stuff, I don't even know why you would want to do that, because if you look great to the number 1 team, you have to look great to the number 5 team, right?
Well, why
wouldn't you?
There was always the story of Ryan Leaf intentionally like sucking at interviews with the Colts in order for him not to get selected by the Colts, because he felt at the time, the Colts are trash. I don't want to get picked by them.
Are they Colts still? They think that guy from the Gators is going there, right?
A lot of people think they might trade up to get him if they can't get him at.
Richardson?
Yeah.
Although everybody's talking. Well, again, this is after the draft, so.
Anyway, don't worry about it.
I will say, I do love, and you brought it up a bit like doing prop bets on what player will be selected where, but then only to get screwed over when there's a trade that happens and someone it's like, oh yeah, so-and-so's not going to get selected in the top 5 because there's no team in the top 5 that wants him. And then all of a sudden, a team trades up 10 spots to get him, and you get screwed.
Immediately you're like, well, that bet lost. I didn't see that coming. Anyway, Kenny, have you ever been fired from a job? Before he answers,
I cannot see Kenny being fired.
I don't think Kenny's ever been fired.
No,
because
I like Kenny a lot.
There are
I would hire you.
Oh, thank you.
I would you would be a great employee. You're a good personality. I think you're a good person.
Listen, I would love to work for you guys, but I think Tracy Claus ended up snagging the job. I probably would have got.
Tracy's too hard to work with.
She's making deals left and right.
Tracy's too hard to work with. She's
a
maniac.
Half of her posts
She's also a pervert.
Well, I mean, most of us are. But half of her posts are like, oh, yeah, Tom and Dan struck a deal with this company now. And I'm like, God, you're good.
Well, that has more to do with us being awesome. Really.
Easy to sell.
Yeah, we're an easy sell. We sell ourselves. Watch this. Buy, please.
Yeah.
Please sign up. Please.
Like weed dispensaries being lucrative. Well, no S. Of course they are.
People like forgetting things.
It's cheap to grow, and they love it. Anyway, have you ever been fired?
I have not been fired.
I knew it.
I've been let go once, and
that's different.
So was Andrea. Andrea's been let go once.
That's because the Orlando Magic, when COVID happened, I was let go due to massive layoffs.
COVID.
Yeah, that's downsizing or
correct.
Like being
but
laid off.
I've never been fired. I've quit many jobs, but never been fired.
Because
Andrea got laid off from Old Navy.
That's different than being fired, though.
She was the youngest manager.
And
she got let go.
I'm curious to what being fired,
I've never been fired.
Being once, or because we've talked
Wait
about
a minute,
before.
does Orlando City count as us?
No, that's let go.
We were let go.
Yeah, because
we've never been
fired. Implies that you either did something illegal or you're just really bad at your job.
Yes, yeah. You did something wrong, or there's a reason for it, and I wonder if there's a correlation. If you've had multiple firings, that means you're somehow bad at life. Has there anybody that had multiple firings that
is good at life?
Well, okay, so let me say this.
Not that I can think of.
I'm
doing the numbers.
I mean, this may sound stupid. I guess you can say the same thing about jail.
Yeah.
But jail could be mistakes. I could have gone to jail lots of times, but I got away with it. You know what I'm saying? That does no...
But after enough jails where you're like, oh, they're all accidents, we think you're a bad person. Right? After enough of those, we're like...
The asterisk to that are head coaches. Because head coaches get fired all the time, still get other jobs, continue to get jobs.
Well, yeah, but that's a sacrificial firing, I feel like. That's we have to go in a different direction. We have to do something. Bye-bye.
Well, the dude for the Celtics who slept with an employee and broke rules and did all that just got hired as a head coach for Houston.
Yeah, well, because he's good at his job.
Yeah, that's true.
But he got fired, so can you say that he's bad at life? Because if he gets fired from this job and then gets a third job...
You could be really good and be fired. Like, you could be bad at life and still talented. I mean, look at Antonio Brown. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Hey, believe me, there are teams, I think after...
That happens with radio personalities, too. because a lot of them get fired all the time, but then they go market to market. And
That's the business, though. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard because certain, like, speaking of radio.
Also, I wouldn't necessarily equate that to talent. I would equate that to being wired a certain way. And sometimes when you're wired a certain way, those people become more entertaining. Doesn't
True.
necessarily
Yeah, 'cause I'm thinking of
mean
the-
that there's a wealth of talent there.
You're
It's
right.
just you're willing to share things that other people don't.
I'm just thinking of like Opie and Anthony, who have been fired many
Multiple
times,
times,
but
yeah.
then they keep landing in big markets.
But they're good. They're good at what they
XM.
do.
Yeah, and then it's weird that like in terrestrial radio they'll fire you over ratings, but the ratings
It's a sacrificial firing. It's very much
Yeah.
like a coach in the NFL.
it has nothing to do with anything they do.
We have to do something because that's the way it's done.
And then it's like, oh, your ratings are too low, so we're firing you. But we understand that the ratings are based on personal people meters, and it's all
we understand
convoluted.
it's fake, but we have to do something.
And there's nothing you could do that would increase the ratings except for another personal people meter lands and someone that listens to
and
you.
you don't
and
control that.
Yeah, you don't control that. So
Yeah.
it doesn't even.
So you got fired.
So you're getting fired for no reason whatsoever, really, because it's not based on your performance.
Right.
Because
You're doing the same thing you've been doing.
if it was a race and there's a way to quantify it, like if it was a 40-yard dash and you got a lower 40-yard, you're like, okay, well, we'll keep you on. But if it's just arbitrary ratings, that it really makes no difference of like what you do on the air every day. You could completely do a different show and your ratings wouldn't change because it's who has the meters or all like
You don't control it.
Yeah, and like
It has as
it's
much
crazy.
to do with what you're doing as it does the people who have the meters to listen to what you're doing.
Yeah, and think about all the people that got fired in terrestrial radio. They still could have just kept on the air.
Right.
And nothing would have been done. Like, or it could have ended up being better later on. But they just did it because this is the way it's been done. Like, I think about this all the time. Like, for me and Daniel, unless we choose to not do this anymore, right? We will just continue to do this as long as we have subscribers and advertisers, right? And there's not much we could do beyond something so horrible.
Pervert. You can do some pervert stuff.
That our listeners, like, that a mass amount of subscribers leave, or the advertisers all leave for one reason or another. But that would have to be something we do. But if we don't do that,
You got something you need to tell me?
no. So if we don't do
I
that,
feel like
we
this
just
is a grand buildup.
we just keep doing this, right? The ratings, how many listeners we have, doesn't really have much to do with it.
We don't control it anyway. We're just doing the best job we can.
Yeah, and then so I guess it does because our advertising would stop working after a while as the listeners.
Well, maybe
dwindle.
yours. Mine wouldn't. Mine's stronger than ever.
But a lot of the advertising is just like some of our advertisers listen themselves. So they, as long as
They do?
get some sort of get some work after, it's just like it'll just keep on going. The same thing would happen with most radio shows. Like if
But they
never
don't have the luxury of letting things go like that. They have to react.
because it's the way the system was built. So if the ratings say low, you're fired.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't have anything to do with what you're doing.
It goes back again to your analogy of the one Bill Bellamy said, your best friend Bill Bellamy, about the agents. It's like once it's the house of cards will fall.
Yeah, the system has to
If you
work
break
the way
the system,
Yeah.
well, then all right, you're gonna have a lot of mad people.
TV shows end because of ratings, and
Yeah.
they don't have to because
Well, we've seen that in recent. You've seen shows that get canceled because of ratings, and they understand that. Nah, we're bringing it back.
Yeah.
and they bring it back, and it crushes on another network.
30 Rock did
Yeah.
that, and
A bunch of them have done it.
Yeah, or they'll end up going to streaming and
Yeah.
get a second life on streaming. By the way, if you're playing at home, the Tom Van bingo card, let's see, we talked about gambling in one segment. We talked about ratings. We talked about old radio stories. Talked about the Miami Dolphins. We talked about corporate waste. He name dropped a celebrity, so that's another one.
And we talked about you being a pervert. Put that in there.
Apparently,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
that's,
so
we
that's
talked
mad.
also
I
about
invited
Tracy.
you.
Tracy thinking that she's doing all the business. We're an easy sell. We're an easy sell.
telling you, we're just checking off EJ making fun of me making fun of EJ.
Oh,
That's a
EJ
double.
told me
That's
he
a
got
double.
fired. Did you? We'll end with
I
this.
saw that in the chat in the
Well-
distance that he got fired from Disney.
Yeah, we'll end with this.
I'm like, how do you get fired from
EJ
Disney?
says I got fired from Disney because they said I had days off during Christmas for basketball tournament in high school. Waited till I finished the holiday season, then said I had 2 no-call, no-shows, and fired me in the beginning of February. Now I make sure everything is in writing. Don't trust anyone. I trust Disney on
You know,
that
it's an
one.
easy way to
was
do
your
that
fault.
is double check things, EJ, instead of just blindly going into things.
Yeah. and
EJ's the most hated regular on the show. The tension is just thick, man.
Well,
What's crazy is I used to think it was Seth, but so
No.
many people love Seth.
No.
Well, Seth has a lot of hate and a lot of love at the same
Seth is
time.
polarizing, but not the most hated.
There you
He's
go.
polarizing.
yeah.
He makes people think and then there are plenty of people that love Seth but just won't say anything because they don't care.
Yeah,
but the most hated member of this show is EJ.
Because with EJ, it's either don't care or hate.
Yeah. Indifference.
Listen,
Indifference is
I'll
the
end
saddest
There's no
thing.
love.
Yeah,
I'll
the
end
saddest
this-
thing is that when I come home, to Andrea will be like, "What'd you do on the show today?" And I say, "EJ came in, we did Nerd Jog," and she'll go, "Who?"
Oh. I was going to end with a
Indifference.
I was going to end with a compliment to EJ.
Okay.
I was going to say, EJ, you have a family and it appears that they love you.
All right.
And that's a good thing because you could have a family that looks like they're indifferent towards you, but your family doesn't. Your family
Indifference is the...
Well,
Now,
you know,
listen.
families will love you no matter what. I'm pretty sure my
Well,
sons will love me even if I was a horrible monster. Because it's just a weird, the biology of me being their father. They're just like, oh,
No,
God.
Macy's not like that. Sometimes I look at May and I'm like, "Do you love me?" She's like, "I don't know. I don't know." She's
Jury's
like,
still out.
yeah,
She
she's
pulls
like,
out the notebook, has the tea table of pros and cons. Be like, you know what,
Yeah.
Dad, you're
I'll figure it out.
you're in the positive. You're in the net positive.
All right, plug your horrible podcast.
Yes, TOOMOOFF. Oh God, I can't.
TOOMOOFS.
TwoMoves.com. Me and Matt, we talk about nonsense, and we're not as funny as you guys.
No, you guys are great.
yeah.
In fact, why don't you guys do me a favor and vote and nominate Two Moves Podcast for the best podcast in the Central Florida area,
do we have to pay for the
according
award?
to the Orlando Weekly?
Yes, you do. And,
We
and
don't
you
have
will
that
not
money.
beat us. No way. I would be surprised, though.
As long as we can get a top 3, I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you won't get that. Because other people that lobby way more, so I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
won't,
I mean, there are people
you
that
will
are
not
be
place.
stuffing these ballot boxes. They're fighting for it.
Anyway, we'll see you Monday. All right.
Hey.
We did it.
That was funny.
Intros. That was really funny.
BDM Appreciation Week. Was everyone who's a BDM supposed to get something?
No.
Okay, because I'm just like because I remember last year I at least got that card in the mail.
You get the fuck no.
Okay,
I'll give you something.
we
Kenny.
changed.
No, I'm not asking for it. I'm just.
He's asking for something.
Well-
Give Kenny a straw hat.
We did.
I have 100 of these. Do you want a megaphone?
See, last year we raised money to just give 1,000 random people gifts in the mail, and then but this year we raised money to be able to give 1,000 BDMs a $5 shirt. So it was different. So we didn't send random.
You just got the Marge Simpson.
And we got so much shit back when we did it randomly last year because people, even though we told people to change their address, no one changed their address. So we mailed out a ton of shit with a ton of effort and got like hundreds of pack of stuff Eric got back. So then I was like, well, the people that want the $5 shirt, at least we know the address is right. And so we'll do that. Seems more logical for us, is like offer some super cheap thing and then people opt into it, and then we try to build the gifts onto that instead of the random. But yeah, I realized that people was like, I didn't get nothing, and I was like, well, did you order the $5 shirt? They're like, no, because you were freaking out about it. I was like,
because I think they were used to last year. It's like, well, I at least got something last year.
yeah.
It is annoying. It's like, hey, we're doing this at random. People don't get stuff. You're like, oh, I guess I'm not as loved as you guys think.
So we doing it differently every year is not the smartest way to do business, but I think that we're going to try to.
SJ didn't get a C-Rex, and he's a 1095er. It might be coming.
Did you order a BDM shirt? Did he get a BDM package?
Well, even if he didn't order a BDM shirt,
We're trying, but Eric is now trying to
I think he's
slowly
working
mail.
on those now. Yeah.
All the other 1095ers.
Yeah, it'll come out. You'll get it. Don't worry, you'll get it.
Yeah. Because
He got 2 shirts. It should have been in your package.
that could just be an
oversight.
Mail us or
Yes, shoot me a message. I'll look into it.
give us a message with your address. We'll make sure you get one. Because during BDM Appreciation, there was a time where Daniel printed out all those Caucasaurus Rex.
All by myself. Yeah.
Love it.
And then
Tom bought me a printer.
So he was going to do this at the beginning of the year and send it all to 1095ers, right? And with a thank you card signed by both of us. So by the time we got to BDM Appreciation, then it dawned on us, well, I bet a lot of 1095ers ordered a t-shirt. Yeah. So then Eric took all the 1095ers and then everybody ordered a shirt and cross-referenced the names on emails and then tried to send a Caucasaurus to every 1095er. Right. The problem is, for sure, I'm guessing if your email doesn't reference your name, there's probably things
there are
that
people that technically gift it to people as well, so they put their info.
I didn't think about that.
But they gift it to like their husband or wife or whatever.
And then so on your BDM, there could be multiple reasons, but we eventually want to send the Caucasaurus to every
and other things.
Every man, woman, and child.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's why they're in a little black bag. No children. We put it. I got specially little, tiny black bags you can't see through, so I didn't need any kids opening the Caucasauruses. We tried to dad this a little bit, make it respectable. We just have to do intros.
Okay.
All right.
Love you, buddy.
Kenny,
That was great.
Kenny, thanks
You're
so much.
always great.
I appreciate
Kenny.
it.
Yep. See you guys
Thank you very much.
See ya. EJ, you're great too. We're just fucking with you, but he knows that.
We're making fun. Making fun. I'm gonna tell every time I'm making fun of someone, they get mad. I'm gonna be like, making fun. It's in the name. It's fun
for me.
That's the only fun that I have is making
fun.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we do on Thursday?
Didn't we do an intro for Thursdays?
We may have.
I think we did, and because Thursday was.
Let me double check. Yeah, because I edited it, right?
Yeah, and this one is for Friday.
Yeah, let me double check here. Yeah, we did Thursday. So Friday is just Kenny.
Yeah.
That's all we need. And then you can go to the DMV. I got to do something about my nose bleeding. Was I picking my nose the whole time?
No.
Okay, good, because I can feel it bleeding.
Oh, yeah, that's.
My allergies are just fucked. Okay. I got something.
Okay.
Kenny's outside holding a raft and he's in swim trunks wet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What's he doing?
Well, that's his new gimmick. He goes around with a raft, and then his board shorts are all ripped out.
Hold on.
Get
out of here, you pervert! Okay. That's funny, I guess. This thing, I'm having fun with this thing. It's my pervert alarm. I just call people screaming. People perverts.
I know our neighbors probably hate it. Hey! Tonight on a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Tom and Dan welcome Kenny Samsel from the Two Moves podcast. He was just in a Starbucks commercial. And here they are. The Frappuccino and Crappuccino of radio, Tom and Dan.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Happy Thursday.